Hello, everybody. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who has joined me tonight in this 8 o'clock hour here for a quick update. And I appreciate all of you already chiming in on my channel over here on Facebook. You can do the same on YouTube. Matthew, hello. Geronimo, hello. Gail, thank you very much for joining me. Well, Logan, Rita, all of very familiar faces. Nathan, thank you so very, very much. In this live visit, what I want to do is make this a two-way street for you folks who are watching live. And again, if you're watching on my channel, on my website on hutchesweather.com, you can also join in board there. Betty, thank you for sharing stars. Anybody who shares support on Facebook through stars or otherwise on other platforms, thank you so very much. Your help has helped Hutch's Weather continue the way it is. We're going to go over into this exciting announcement that I have to you, and then we're going to turn this into a two-way talk and a visit where I get to learn right now from you. So this is where you get an opportunity to share with me what's worked about Hutch's Weather and different things like that. So we'll talk here in just a bit. Leora, good to have you on from St. Hilaire. Thanks so much, Dylan, for your sharing of stars. Can do. I love my Towner County folks. Rebecca, thanks for joining. And Gary, thanks for watching as well. So let's go ahead and take a peek now as what we have going on with this big announcement. And we're going to get started right now with that. So without you, none of this would be possible. So it's wonderful that I have seen growth from around 32,000 followers a year and a half ago when I walked out of the television screens and onto the streaming platform just a couple of short months later. Now, over 60,000 folks have followed me on Facebook. So without you clicking the follow button on my Facebook channel, this wouldn't be possible. And same thing goes. I had 0 followers on my YouTube channel and now 7,000 strong, baby. Thank you very much for that. So if you happen to like YouTube as a platform, it's great because you can stream it live right on your television screen in full HD. I'm broadcasting in full HD as well. So let's get to the big announcement. It's also a fact that this wouldn't be possible without sponsors of Hutch's Weather. And today's exciting announcement is, wow, I have another company locally who has put their trust in Hutch, and I couldn't be more excited to be partnered with Eventide Senior Living. So let me tell you a little bit about this partnership because I have some personal things to share, but Eventide is a community. And it's a community where whether you want to have independent living in that community or they have care all the way up to memory care, all of it is available. They take care of all of your needs, and it is really, truly like a family over there. And that's my personal input because I have had some experience dealing with and looking for assisted living. So in that process of learning and calling and talking and visiting, the choice was clear for me and my family. And Eventide was abundantly accommodating for all needs, from moving in to making sure that there's activities to do, to helping with rides to and from where it is that you want to go. It's just really neat. And not only that, when I do get a chance to go over there and pay visit to family and friends, I get a lot of tips of the hat. So that is, Rebecca, thank you very much. So that's the exciting news. So if you see this, if you know someone who might be looking for assisted living, or if that someone is you, well, give Eventide a chance. You can visit eventide.org for the latest. They offer independent living, they offer assisted living, a memory care, rehabilitation care, and skilled nursing, all there. And I might add, the food is outstanding. The movie theater is top notch, and you'll like what you see over at Eventide. Okay, so that is the big announcement. And again, I have this opportunity to partner with fantastic area businesses. So without you paying them a visit and keeping them in your mind, I also would have a tough time making it work. Gail, thank you so very much. Anxiously awaiting the news. Rain clouds gathering. Where are you watching from? Gail Sharp, thank you for joining. And indeed, Eventide's a great place. Now, let's go on. And I got a couple of questions to ask about you. So you've joined me for this. Hutch's Weather started with just the following on Facebook. It was 30,000 strong. Now it's over 60,000 strong. My YouTube channel, well, I just started one up, fired it up like a Briggs & Stratton, and now that thing is purring like it's got more than one cylinder. It's got at least 2 or 3 with 7,000 folks who have subscribed to the YouTube channel. Checking in from Fergus Falls, CJ, good to see you, and thank you so very much for visiting. Gail says, I'm in Fargo. It's wonderful to have you on board as well. HutchesWeather.com was added, well, months ago now, and it is a one-stop shop for you to get your weather information. So I have some questions for you, and this is our two-way communication. So I hope to see you on here right now talking with me and letting me know what's going on with regards to how you use Hutch's Weather. So let's start with question 1, and we'll add a few. And in the comments section, whether you're watching on YouTube or whether you're watching on my Facebook channel, and if you're watching online on HutchesWeather.com, you may not have the ability to type an answer in there, but that is okay. Pedro, myself, and my good friend Leonardo DiCaprio are all here to listen to your input. Clarine, thank you very much. So a question for you. What is your favorite thing about Hutch's Weather? So let me know what's working for you, why you like it. Maybe it's the times. I do an update in the morning. Usually I have that up and ready for you before you're getting ready for your day. I also have an update in the early afternoon as you're getting ready to make those evening plans, either before you head home from work or on your way home from work, or maybe just, before you really get busy making dinner. That's usually around that 4 o'clock time frame. And then, well, in the evening, before it gets too late, I have an update there for you as well. So what is your favorite thing about Hutch's Weather? I'll read a few responses because they're coming in. Kai says, reliable, always updating. It's a click away, so no waiting. I love that too. Thank you. Chase, thank you so much. I like the Fastcast. Something that I've added to it is those Fastcasts, or are those Fastcasts. Those are where it's straightforward and to the point. I appreciate that input as well. Brad, I appreciate your report of 55 in Cullum and a bit windy today, and looking forward to a weekend in the 70s and how about 80s, because I'll back right up that 7-day forecast here for you, Brad, and show you Shazam! By the end of the weekend, we have a shot at some 80-degree weather. So keep that in mind. Okay, back to the questions here. Geronimo says, I enjoy all the updates. Geronimo, thank you for your input. I do appreciate that. Carol says, I like your maps and what your realistic predictions are. Sometimes when you work in television, which I did for 27 years, you do not have time to elaborate. So I feel by having that extra time to elaborate with you, as long as that's what you're looking for, I have time to answer questions, and I have time to make sure that my communication is as clear as I can make it. So I hope that by the time you're end watching one of Hutch's Weather episodes, you have the answer you're looking for. I'm on a rotating schedule, so not rooting. I like the predictions I see here. Kawani, could you check to see what you think will be the severe weather forecast south of you tonight? There is that tornado watch, right? So thanks to all my national viewers who are joining on the YouTube channel as well. All right, more input coming in right here. Darn, I miss your news. Clayton, thank you so very much. I hope you don't miss it. I hope you can catch me. And that's what I want to learn from you, Clayton. And I will read every one of these updates and things that you give me so that I can make Hutch's Weather better fit your needs. Marcia says, I like the accuracy. I am humbled by that. You know what? As a meteorologist, I work very hard on the forecast, and when I put something together, I wake up early to see if it's happening. I look out the window just like you do, and if I said snow last night, and if it isn't snowing, I'm wondering what went on. And believe you me, it happens, right? NET says, I like you showing the different models. That's right. You know what? Meteorologists have all of these tools in our toolbox, and a big glass of water as well. For when you get thirsty. And I got to tell you, sometimes these models don't all agree. And I want to say this right now to all of you. Thank you, Carol. You agree on the accuracy. There's no such thing as the forecast. Let me elaborate. Every meteorologist, if you get 12 of us in a room, we're all going to have our own opinions. And all of them are scientifically based And I respect and appreciate every meteorologist out there who's working hard to make a prediction. However, there is a difference. Now, if I put something on my channel or say it here, I think it's going to happen. A lot of times, I can pat myself on the back. Sometimes, not so much. I'll just share a time I skinned my knee. Just this past weekend, I thought we'd be a little warmer in Fargo than we got. We didn't quite get there. Meteorologists sometimes have challenges when it looks like it's going to be a very good chance of severe weather, like it was as we went from Sunday night and through the day Monday, and then Monday afternoon in particular. Minnesota was in a moderate risk. That wasn't just me. It was an entire community of meteorologists. All of us work together, but we also have our own opinions. So it is a good idea to pick someone that you trust and someone that you enjoy. Gail says, as a retired teacher, I teach the weather, not just report it. I too am a teacher of weather. For 17 years, I taught college level meteorology and loved every minute of it. So it's wonderful to have questions asked. And if I don't know, I'm going to tell you. Rita likes the personality, and I try to be a good fella, and I appreciate that very much. And you know what? I get along with everybody as long as we're communicating in a respectful manner. How can you go wrong? Amanda says, reliable, always knowing what's going on. Thank you for all of your questions and answers to number one. Now, let's go on to the rest of the questions here, and I'm going to pop them all up and kind of read as we go through. I like your knowledge of science and the presentation. Carol, and I love your ideas. I have read your emails, I have read your reports, and you have a lot of ideas that are absolutely very good. So thank you, and please keep them coming. They're not dusting off in a pile. I remember your suggestions. Clarine, you keep us updated. Thank you. I do my very goodest to do that. And I was a lot gooder at math and science than grammar. So get that. Interaction, says Rita. Lori says, we have so many little areas. You're juggling it well. That's right. We have a lot of different what we call microclimates. And this is one reason why, let's say you have a phone app and you go to it. Many of these phone apps are made from a computer model with no switcherooski by a local meteorologist. Well, let's just use one example that happens regularly up here in the Northland. A dash of snow hits, but it doesn't hit everywhere. And models don't always take into account the amount and the exact location of where that snow fell. Well, that will impact your temperatures the next day. Old Hutcheroo, I'm going to take my old racer out and I'm going to make that forecast match what I think. The areas that have snow on the ground could possibly be colder than many models will ever tell you. You wake up and you grab your phone and look at your favorite app on there, and I'll almost guarantee you that data hasn't been touched by Hutch. And what that means is they don't know in Florida or Georgia or Pennsylvania what the heck fell in North Dakota. They have no idea. And they can't adjust everybody's forecast based on that. So that's why having some local meteorological input is always important. Matthew says, when do you think the cap will stop, if that makes any sense? Matthew, great question. I love your questions about the weather. The cap is going to break down when some cold air up above the ground works its way over to cool that off. Or else you heat up the surface air a little bit hotter and it punches up through the cap. Clayton says, love your forecasts and updates. Let's get on to the other questions. Woo! Whenever I'm concerned about weather, Rebecca says, all I do is click on my page. Gosh, thank you. That's what I love to hear. Thank you so much. Accurate forecast with some cool videos of my car. Ooh, Moorhead Cruise Nights are coming up. I can't wait. Let's get to the rest of the questions here because I don't want to lose the audience here. And I've got a good audience here. And thank you for your interaction and your input. So here is some more questions I have for you. In the past 18 months that I've been doing Hutch's weather, I've done a lot of growth and I've done a lot of learning, and it's all been from you and your input. So I've tried to improve the graphics. I've tried to improve my coverage area. I grew up in Montana. I love Montana. And when someone in Montana says, hey, Hutch, how's the weather in Montana? I'm going to stop and answer, or at least try to include them. So I try to include the entire region. I am not defined by some viewing area. If you are here joining me, just like Matthew is from, I believe it's Illinois, right, Matthew? Well, by golly, I'm going to try to answer your questions. So number 2, when you're answering these questions, if you put the question number by it, it will help me when I'm going through. but I'll read them all, I guarantee it. So let's go on with this. How do you watch Hutch's weather? Do you join me on Facebook? Is that on your phone? Is it on your mobile device, your laptop? Maybe you have a tablet or something. I want to know what devices you're using and if it's screen friendly for you. It sometimes is a little different watching my television sized broadcast maybe on some of the platforms out there. So let me know what and where you get Hutch's weather. Maybe you do more frequently watch on your phone. That information is helpful. So knowing where you're watching from, that would be the question I have for you. Michael says, number one question is interactive, fan-friendly, good humor, great communication, and some guitar included. Pardon me. But these babies are never too far away, because when I have time in between my forecasts, that sounds a little wonky without an amplifier, but you get the picture. I like to play my guitar. Thank you so much, Michael. Gary says, you keep me up on the weather from the Dakotas, northern Minnesota, northwest Wisconsin, so I know weather is en route to me. Thank you very much. Crystal, good to have you on board. Wish you had your own app. Wish you had your own app. That sounds like a great tune and a great goal. That's all I have to say. Okay. Just saw lightning and heard rumble of thunder in Fargo. Oh no. Well, you know, one of the beauties about a good old Hutch's weather here is I have built my software to answer your questions. It might take me a while to dial in what you just asked, but it don't take long, does it? And you can't do that on the television. So when you ask Hutch a question, shazam! There's your radar. Now this is South Dakota, and I can take a look at that radar and I can zoom on out and check it out. There's one lightning strike. You weren't lying. You were telling the truth. And you know what? The other thing about having two-way communication is, as a meteorologist sitting in a basement with the windows closed, I can't see what's happening in your town. When you drop a comment in my live and say the wind is blowing in Cullum and it's 53 degrees, by golly, that's helpful. We had a lightning strike here. Where was it? Where was that strike? Let's go down to this neighborhood. It was north of Dilworth, just south of Georgetown. Boom, shazam, shazizzle right there. When did it strike? Let's go to the time. The time it struck was 3 minutes ago, exactly at 8:15. There was a cloud to ground strike right there. The energy, 2.895 picojoules. That's no fun. I mean, that's hair standing type of joules right there. All right, as we go through, we do have some showers working their way through. The risk of severe tonight is minimal, and it's not zero, though. And the best chance of anything kind of strong looks like it's going to be down here near Huron with this cluster. That cluster could have some rotation in it, and there was a chance, as I said, a chance of a funnel cloud or maybe a brief, weak tornado. Vicky, number 2, I watch you on my phone, going to Facebook, and I get your notifications. Okay. Warren says, I watch on both the PC and the phone, depending where I am. I'm outside in the yard. I always get excited when the notification says I'm going live. Awesome. Question number 3. Ooh, I better go back to my questions because I forgot. Let's go back so I don't forget here what question number 3 is. Let's see if this is it. Do you prefer explanations or the fastcast? This is huge. I do both. But I'm one individual doing my best to inform everybody in a style that makes sense to you. Thanks, Gail, for your answers on the questions. I see your numbers. Geronimo, thank you very much. You stream in TV, on the TV, in HD. Would love to see you have an app. Geronimo, thank you. So, how about your HD TV? Should I increase the resolution, or is 1080 fine? I have computer power to do a little bit more, but I'm streaming like right now to 3 platforms. So I got to have enough bandwidth and power to do it to all. And I have that bandwidth. And I have backups too, by the way, you guys. You know what? Sometimes there's a song by a band that I know called Dokken, and it says, when the lightning strikes again. When the lightning strikes, sometimes you can have the lights go out. When the lights go out like this, is Hutch's computer going to go out? That's a problem. So I've got backup power in here. You betcha, folks. I'm prepared to try to stay on board. Here's the other thing I like about being able to go live. I can go when I want to. I don't have to wait for halftime. You can be watching the Timber Puppies right now playing some basketball. Are they playing right now? I know my Avalanche will be playing some hockey here soon, and I love that. And the Nuggets too. And I got to tell you what, you can pick your phone up and watch Hutch when I've got something important going on, and you can let me, and I can let you know. I don't need to wait. You get the information when it needs to be gotten, and that's what I love about what I do. Could you do more like observed forecast tools? Matthew, great things are coming. I promise you, great things are coming to Hutch's weather. Observation tools are critical to meteorology, and your reports are as good as any, because without them, we wouldn't know whether this rain was falling and hitting the ground or whether it's just up in the cloud, because a radar looks up in the cloud. So your reports are important. Ethan says, just saw a funnel cloud. Ethan, tell me where you're at. I'm looking out my window and I have a lot of real high clouds here in South Moorhead. NET says, explanations. You have the time to do it and you do it well. Much obliged to you. This is the best thing about the live stream. Feels like a personal meteorologist. Thank you, NET. I really do appreciate that. And I have always looked at my viewers, even in my days on TV, as family, and I'm looking out for you. I don't care if you live in Roseau, I don't care if you live in Cullum, or I don't care if you live in Ellendale, Moorhead, wherever you live in this area. If there's a storm, I want to do my best to cover it. Now, I am one person, and I will do my very best, but that's my commitment to you. So, where is my station at? Where is my station at? Oh, this isn't going to show up very well because I got a green screen turned on here. So let me just say this. I'm in my basement. I'm at home. I'm in my home office. I'm broadcasting from my big computer screen and my system right here. So that's where my office is. And I am in Moorhead, Minnesota. And that's where I broadcast from. I've been working in the Northern Plains and the Central Plains and the Rocky Mountains. I did research meteorology for 5 years right out of the gate, flying with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. And it was a lot of fun. But boy, this is even more funner. So question 3, do you prefer explanations or fastcasts? That's important for me to know. Gail says explanations are great. I do like it when you do the different models. Vicky says number 2, I watch on my phone and Facebook and I get your notifications. I see Leora says follow you on YouTube and hutchesweather.com. Thank you so much. I love hearing that. She changed her name to CIN. Well, I guess that's the name of her game. Michael, yes, indeed. Well, she's got the looks to kill. Joan Floyd, I watch on Facebook. Thank you. I farm, and especially in summer, wind and spraying is extremely important. Mark, thank you very much. If you ever have a question about wind, because sometimes that gets missed on some of these maps, but I do try to, as a meteorologist, put the isobars on my maps from time to time and explain where it will be windier and where it will be less windy. So I do hope you find that useful, and we'll go into more. Clarine says both. She prefers both the fast casts and the explanations. So good. I'm going to keep doing that, and I appreciate that. Lori says the same thing, both. I like explanations, Rita says, but not long ones. That's hard for Hutch. I'll admit that right now. It's a weakness. So sometimes I need to move on, and I appreciate that. I'll try to do much better. All right, let's see. Have you ever gotten to release a weather balloon up in the air before? Yes, in college we did launch weather balloons, and then we tracked them with a neat old-fashioned thing called a theodolite. And what we did is we tracked that balloon up and we recorded the elevation and the height and the azimuth angle, and then we could estimate and calculate how the balloon moved as it went up, and that's how we calculate the winds in the upper atmosphere. Now those balloons are not tracked by theodolite and manually by a meteorologist at the Weather Service, but radar tracks them, and radar can quickly calculate the winds between different levels as that balloon moves up through the atmosphere. So I hope that wasn't too long-winded of an explanation, Rita, but that's the coolness that I love about weather. I love the explanations. They're great. And so are the fastcasts. Deborah, thank you. Number 3, both actually. Thank you, Clayton. Both. You teach us about the weather. Number 4, yes, like live answers. Number 4, what do you enjoy about the ability to get live answers? Do you enjoy the ability to get live answers? Clarine, thank you. Yes. So right now there's thunder moving into Fargo. I see one. It looks like it's by Horace out there right now. So as I zoom into the map, it looks like it's south of Mapleton, north of Horace, and just south of the West Fargo area. So yeah, there's some thunder out there. And when you ask questions about it, I love that interaction. Very good. Geronimo likes both fastcasts and the explanation. Really enjoy the live interactive. An app would be awesome. I think you come in nice and clear on my TV. Wow, Geronimo, thanks, and I'm glad you're watching on TV. Now, let me ask you a favor. All of you watching tonight and all of you who watch in the future on this, if you don't catch the live, the video will be up there for some time. I want you to let me know and let your friends know that Hutch is still doing weather. I run into people all the time that say, how is retirement? Who you talking to? This kid ain't retired. I love what I do, and I hope to do it for many years to come because I love what I do. I haven't worked a day in my life because I love what I do. But I got to tell you, the word of mouth that all of you have already passed along has helped Hutch grow, because some people say, I love what you're doing. Some people say, oh, I miss you on TV. I wish you were back. I haven't seen. What are you doing? Where do you work? Are you still in the area? Yes, I am. So please pass the word. Your word of mouth is worth anything I could ever do. And I do appreciate everybody who also tags friends in broadcasts like this one, tags friends in my lives. When I'm doing that, that does help spread the word. So number 4, do you enjoy the ability to get live answers? Crystal says, I tell everyone I watch you. Thank you. Gosh, that's very humbling. Slight rain in Fargo, just south of I-94 and 25. The pavement is wet. So Gail, I'm going to take you right now. You said 94 and 25th Street exit showing some rain. Here's that radar right now. And is it lying? And why is it lying if it is? So here's 25th Street. Here's I-29. There's West Fargo. So here's 94. 25th to be right in this area is University. 25th is in here. This little brief shower made its way through. It's heading into North Moorhead. Some of that is reaching the ground. That's not always the case on a radar. A radar beam points up at an angle and it sees raindrops up in the cloud. Not all those raindrops are hitting the ground when it's at this location. That's what the radar sees up at cloud level. So that's why sometimes you'll see a radar image on Hutch's weather and you're like, Hutch, what are you saying? It's raining here. It's not raining at all. The radar says it's raining, but it's not. That happens. Thank you very much for your report. Yes, I like the live answers. And let's get back to a couple more of your questions and answers here. All right, this is where your feedback will help Hutch's weather grow. I've already got some requests for a weather app. I hear you. I think it's a wonderful idea. What would make Hutch's weather more better? So this is where I want you all to type in number 5. What would make Hutch's weather more better? And you type in number 5 and give me your answer. Maybe your town isn't on one of my maps. So if this is my tomorrow forecast, and I know I have viewers that are watching in Wisconsin out here, and Hutch sits with his rear end planted right here most of the time. How can I get up and move out of your way? Can I make a bigger map? If I make a bigger map, the problem with that is adding more cities makes it harder to read. These numbers are already small. I've gotten feedback before that says I can barely see your numbers. I encourage you to get on my YouTube channel if you can't read them on Facebook. Facebook limits the size of the video that I can put out. It's not 1080i, it's a little less than that. Now, if you watch on YouTube and you stream this puppy to your TV, or if you have a YouTube app on your streamer, you can watch me right there in full 1080i. Okay? All right. Leora uses the Fastcast in early mornings because I got to get somewhere too. Sean Dunblazer said, and Sean is a sponsor. Thank you for watching, Sean. You can find out more about Dumb Blazers painting on hutchesweather.com. Scroll through my sponsor bars. Without them, I would not have hutchesweather.com. Sean, thank you for your support. I'll be out in the field. When can I send information about what we talked about? Let's talk about that a little bit more, because there's some Rubik's Cube solutions that we'll have to come up with. Oh boy, these answers are coming in great. I got so many. I think I lost Sean here, so I'm sorry, Sean. I remember what you emailed about, and we will talk about that more this season. In fact, let's do it soon. Okay, boy, I'm seeing so many great answers. Okay, here we are. Let me see. Oh, it keeps jumping to the bottom because answers are still coming in. There's the farming. Is Fergus going to get storms tonight? Yes. Later this evening, what we see in South Dakota, probably after 1 a.m. As far as thunder and lightning, the thunder and lightning is going to decrease. So the risk of severe is low, but we might have a few rumbles of thunder and some locally heavy rain tonight, over a ½ inch in some spots. Many places, though, in North Dakota, seeing 1/10 of an inch or less. Clarine, wouldn't change anything. You're doing a great job. I am super humbled by that. I thank you, because I do try my hardest, but I'm not. I would be silly if I didn't take input from my viewers. So thank you much for that. Lori says live answers are great, like both the lives and the shorts. Absolutely. Number 4, it shows you care about all of us. Thank you for that, Rita. I appreciate that. Melissa says number 2, phone and Facebook, fast facts are the best. And yes, she likes to be able to answer questions. And the way we receive warnings from you on weather. Way to receive warnings. Number 5, hutchesweather.com. Anytime, anywhere. hutchesweather.com. If you go to that page, and I'll put the questions back up here too. I apologize for that. hutchesweather.com. When you very first log on to this site from any device, it's going to ask for your zip code. If you trust me with your zip code, then you're going to get the 7-day forecast customized to your area, and any warnings in your area will automatically show at the very top right away. So make sure that you enter that, and that would be one way for you to get the absolute warnings. Now, if there is, how do I say this nicely? If the excrement's hitting the rotary oscillator, then folks, I'm going to be here, just like I was when we knew that there could be a chance of severe weather Monday night. I was here. I was doing updates. I was doing updates and answering questions for Indiana. I was doing questions and answers for questions in places like Wisconsin. I'm going to do my best, and I committed that time. So when the weather gets bad, I usually am here unless I'm out of town or on a vacation or something odd is going on. Even overnight, I have alarms set, and when stuff gets wild, I'll be there. Okay, so I'm going to do my best to be there, but staying informed is important. hutchesweather.com is a great place to do that. Right now, I'm in the Fargo area, and there are no warnings or watches or advisories for Fargo. But if you happen to live somewhere else down in Kansas, if I were to zip this radar down to where the action is happening tonight, let's do that. hutchesweather.com. Maybe sometime we'll do a Hutch's class, just like this, where it's a scheduled event, and we'll have subscribers be able to do a class where we answer questions. But this radar allows you to tip, tilt, move, zoom. And look what's coming into western Kansas right now. It's a line of thunderstorms that could be strong to severe. Look what's blowing through eastern Arkansas in towards Memphis, Tennessee right now. It's some wild weather. So indeed, a lot of wild weather can happen out there. And having a website that you know you can get the answers on is good. Now, this is where I throw some cheese to my good friends at the National Weather Service Forecast Office, any office across the nation. They have people there 24/7 to get information to you. So if you type in this website, grab your pencil. Hutchesweather.com is one. Weather.gov. Weather.gov will get you to the site where you just click on the map where you are, and you'll get to see the latest warning right from the folks that issue it. I don't issue watches and warnings. I will put my 2 cents in on everything I'm seeing and give you the best answers that I can. The National Weather Service will make sure. Ava says, we don't want you leaving us. I don't want to leave either. Right now, Hutch's weather is growing and it's going to continue to grow. And I'm working hard to do that. But I could not do it without you. I could not do it without my sponsors. And again, tonight's announcement was all about my brand new sponsor, Eventide Senior Living Communities. People that are there to help you, and they have escalating services for anyone who wants to basically have independent living all the way up to memory care. It's all available. So keep my sponsors in mind. It does help me out incredibly. Gary says, yes, I like the wind info, so I know if I'm going to be playing Dakota Pick. My wife is the one that put me on to you. Well, give your wife a big pat on the back, Gary, and tell her thank you. And if you all ever have a question, I'm inviting you right now. Drop the question. I read them, and I'll try to answer them all in my lives. If it's not alive, you can drop the question. I do look them over, and I try to answer as many as I can. Love the answer, says Kathy. Aleski, Perry Aleski, your charisma, your concise reporting, likes that. Watch on Facebook and mobile primarily. That's important for me to know. Looks great on my screen. Good, I'm glad. And all of you can thank my web designer, Joe. Joe is amazing. Joe knows how to make this stuff work on different platforms. So all of this has gone so smoothly thanks to Joe's expertise. Joe, thank you, my friend. Okay, I enjoy the explanation, the quick fact, and 5, not applicable. I switched from another location, I won't read it out loud, to you when I left. Love my work. Gosh, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Perry Aleski. Thank you very much. An app would be great. Kai, thank you for that input. Thank you for that input. Hutch works hard, even when I'm not on broadcasting with you. I love the live feed. Love more when our area is talked about. Kimberly Ann, thank you for that. Keep doing what you're doing. We are in for any severe storms in the next couple of days. Tonight, there could be a spit or a miss. Tomorrow, Anthony, have you heard of cold air funnels? There's a cold air mass coming out of Canada, and I think it's a good setup. I haven't seen this anywhere else, but I think it's a decent setup for them cold air funnels. Not violent tornadoes, but a few cold air funnels would not surprise me for tomorrow. After that, it looks a little quieter until Monday. So that's your sneak peek at that. Kara, don't watch any other news but you. Kara, thank you so very much. Hi to you. Hope you're still on board here with me now. Let's see, what do we got? Oh, Ava says, more Pedro. Well, Pedro's right on the floor. When I said his name, he looked right up at me. He's like, who wants more Pedro? Well, let me put the guitar down. I'll invite him up. All right, Pedro, come on. Come on up here. Come on. There he is. This is my good buddy. This is my prognosticator puppy, Pedro. Pedro's been with me. He is going on 9 years old, and he is wonderful. And Leonardo DiCaprio, the feline forecaster, is also here. He really loves to help me with printouts. But these two, how can you beat working in your office with help like this? All they want is some love and some food and snacks. Michael, thank you. Hoping we get rained out tomorrow in Lower Michigan. Could use a day off. I hear you. You know what? We haven't had a lot of rain here in parts of North Dakota and Minnesota, so we're appreciating all the rain we're getting right now. Marlene says, remember us out in West Central area? Hoffman, Herman, Wheaton? Yeah, I remember. I will remember you at all costs. Let's see. So, you know, if you're in Grant County, if you're in the Wheaton area, I'll tell you what, it seems like the past decade or so, there's been more nasty tornadic style storms down in that area. So Dalton, that whole area, I watch that area very closely. There are some spots out there that have some radar holes where we don't get as good of data as I'd like to see out there, but that don't mean Hutch don't need to cover it. So if you have a question, Herman, I know Herman, and I'm not talking about some fella. Deborah says, you're the only one to watch anymore. Thank you very much, Deborah. I appreciate that. Mark says, Fairdale, North Dakota. An app would be great with the alerts. Yep, you're right. Like I've said, I farm. Wind is important. I also have livestock in the winter, so that information is important. Good to know. And this will help me build what I need to build for the future. How about getting up with some viewers where Endon isn't present? It's a great idea. Endon has an incredible assortment of data points across the state of North Dakota, and they're expanding into Minnesota. So today, if we look at our temperature change across the region, this is from NDON. Look at all of these sites that they have. If you have a site in between there, let's talk about building that. Pedro the puppy's so cute. Thanks, Northern Grace. I'm very partial to Pedro and Leonardo DiCaprio. They're a couple of the goodest that are out there. Still answering questions because this is amazing. I've got new comments coming in. Thank you, Christy, for the stars. Brad, thank you. Love when your interaction with us, the audience, is so much better than when you had to be in the studio. I agree 150%. You said alerts is nice. You said about alerts is nice, but need something that moves with me, my wife, and will let me know if I am in harm's way. Gary, you got it. And a good app will do that. And I'm not saying nothing, but Hutch's weather is growing. That's all I'm going to say. Ethan, our sirens are going off, Hutch. Ethan, where are you at? 3 minutes ago? Again, you got to remind me where you're at. Thank you very much. I'll look for it. Thank you for everything, Jeremy. Loving him, the puppy. Yep, loving Pedro. Pups are great. Sirens in what area again? Great staff. Love the assistance. My staff is the best. Ethan's in Dilworth. Your siren's going off in Dilworth. Let me take a look. I will look at the National Weather Service feed right now. Thank you. Because without that, I can't hear the sirens going off in Dilworth. So now what I can do is pull this information up. I have my setups here so I can look at in real time at what's going on, and I will see what I can find out right now for you. Let's go right here. Let me go to the National Weather Service feed, and it says nothing. So I don't see that there is any weather warning that's been issued. I can see the warnings on my map right now. There is a shower that's moving through the area. I can understand how that would be a little disconcerting as you head into the evening hour. In North Dakota, Ethan, it was Severe Weather Awareness Week, and today was a tornado drill and safety test. Did others of you in the Dilworth area hear sirens going off? I'd like to know. Thank you for your input. All right, Brady's on board too. Okay, gotta move you out ahead of the pictures when you're showing the forecast. Gotta move my head out of the way. All right, I gotta get better at that, I admit. And Rita, you're good to let me know. Thank you for letting me know. So those are some of the inputs that I'll be reading as we go through. Hey, Brady. Hey, Northern Grace. Hi, everybody. Okay, let's talk a little weather here while we're at it. But again, I appreciate all your feedback. Now, if you don't see something on here that you'd like to share with me, just drop it in the comments and I'll be reading those as we move on. Wintertime road conditions may help. Ooh, you've come to the right place. Gary, did you watch this winter when I was covering severe weather, severe winter weather? My setup is set up to do this in moments. Where are you, and where are you at, by the way? So if I'm covering and I get a notification that the roads are in bad shape, boom, right here I go. And I can show you views from these cameras. Right now, we got rain moving into Fargo. You want to see what it looks like? Are the streets wet? Yes, let's use this camera network to give us an idea of what's going on in Fargo right now. So if we look at the I-29, I-94 interchange, look at the rain shower out there. This is how I cover weather in the winter. This is how I cover weather now in the summer. I use the tools that are right here, and I've made sure my broadcast software has all these tools loaded on them. Rex says on Monday, when we had the severe storms in Wisconsin, there were smaller tornadoes that went through near Eau Claire, EF0 and EF1. Yeah, and we were expecting the possibility of EF2s and greater, and that did not transpire that particular day. I do believe it was because we were cloudy and it didn't heat up as much as we thought it could. If that would have brushed out of there and we would have got upwards of 80 degrees in southern Minnesota, like some of the models said, then yes. So right now you're looking out west and you're looking out at that shower that's heading our way toward the interchange. So that's off the I would call that a mouse trap, but some people call that the tri-level here in Fargo. Let's go out to West Fargo and see what we got going on right now. So using tools that are available to me is a very, very big priority to me and covering the weather, and it helps me see what's going on. And if there's road conditions, I'll do my goodest to make sure you know about what's closed and what's on. And not only that, if you need road information and you're on the road, what? HutchesWeather.com is smart. Thanks to Joe. I asked and he made it happen. Do you see this road conditions button? You can get everything I just looked at on hutchesweather.com by going there anytime, anywhere. Click on the road conditions button, and this is what you're going to get. And I don't care if you want to request a state on here that I can upload road condition links for you, I'll do my best to make it on here if I can fit it on cleanly. But every state in our region is included. North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, Iowa, Colorado, Montana, Manitoba. We've got our Canadian neighbors covered here as well. Wyoming, Nebraska. What else? I got to get my head out of the way, Rita. You're right. You're right again. How about that? Wyoming and Saskatchewan. All right. So you can click on any one of these and get the latest road conditions no matter where you are, whether you're driving. It's all right here on hutchesweather.com. And it's made to be this one-stop shopping of information. I try to share this with you during my broadcast that I have this available, but I got to tell you, somebody updated a photo to my site. Let me show you how that works. So now, if I go to hutchesweather.com here, what I do is I got to go to my site on the back side here and take a picture that was just uploaded. And this is how quickly I can have your photo, Melanie, on air. On air. Let's go now. Okay, you just told me, and I heard the alarm go off, but I didn't check it. This is the beautiful shot that Melanie just shared with all of us from West Fargo. Just as the rain was rolling in tonight, you can see the clouds and the dip in the clouds here. There is some beautiful orange colors reflecting out there as the sun was closing out our day. So when you share photos with Hutch, it's all available, and you go to hutchesweather.com and you click on the viewer pick section here, and this is where you upload. How much rain did you get? Well, West Fargo the other night got some rain, and thanks to my good friend Bill, we got a look at this. When the inner tube fills up, that's a solid inch, and it was almost there. So a lot of rain fell in the FM area as that wet system Sunday and into Monday made its way through. That's a nice picture, Bonnie says, and I would agree very much so. So again, without you participating in the weather like this, check this out. I would never know this happened because we can't see this kind of a circulation on the radar. You know what that is? What's that look like? Well, Matt said that there is a dust devil, and that's what it is. It's a dust devil. This was west of Grafton, and this was on the 25th of April, and that was churning away. No radar's going to see that puppy. It's tiny and in size, and if the radar was closer, it might have a chance at picking up that debris spin. I have personal experience with these hitting some research semi-trailers we were in, and it had them rocking. The winds broke our anemometer, the wind measuring device, and it locked and stopped at 80 miles per hour. These can be dangerous when they're big. Most of these dust devils, when I was a kid, I'd run into them and get hit by tumbleweeds out in Montana. Well, I wasn't the sharpest knife in the drawer as a kid, but I sure had a lot of fun with the weather. Okay, I think I did just hear my dingle bell go off one more time there that somebody else uploaded a photo, so I'll keep my eyes on that. And you know what? No matter where Hutch is and no matter when I go there, I can look up and hear these photos coming in and update them. And I just got a photo from my friend Nathan. Nathan, thank you. It's sure good to see you out at the Gate City event. Thank you for coming. And thanks to my friends at Gate City Bank. But Nathan shared a photo with all of us, and you can check it out at hutchesweather.com. I do believe I just swatted a mosquito out of my way. Unbelievable. Thank you all so very much. Kara says, besides the severe weather, do you have a specific time you try to come on? Early mornings, I have a forecast up, and when it's happening and when it's severe, I'm always going to try to be as live as possible. Sometimes I can't because I'm doing other things, but I'll upload a video that I've recorded and got ready for you. So 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. I will have a forecast up for you. You can go to hutchesweather.com to see that latest forecast. So hutchesweather.com, right down here where you see the video section. I'm live right now, so if you're on my website, you can click right here and watch me live. My most recent videos are all right down here. And if you don't see the one you're looking for, because some days I do a lot more than 3 videos, you just click on this button right here and away you go. Did you know? Hi, Candy. Good to have you on board. Did you know Hutch does Hutch's Weather Kids again? Thanks to my sponsors at, well, Luther Family Ford. And I'm so lucky to have them helping me just pass on my excitement about weather to area students. So if you have an area student that would be interested in helping Hutch do the weather, click right here, then click the sign up button, and I'd love to have you on board. This is where you can also click to upload videos. And here's some of my fine sponsors out there. And I got to share more with you up at the top of the page. Without them, hutchesweather.com wouldn't be possible. All right. Somebody says, we know you need a day off too. I got to get better at taking days off, but I do like what I have. That dirty buzzard, that mosquito was here. It's a Minnesota State bird, says Bonnie. That's indeed the case. All right. I think that we have arrived at the end. I will go over all of your suggestions, and I really do thank you all for sharing them with me. Hutchesweather.com expands. I will continue to have more news about expansion and growth as we go through the remainder of the year, because it's happening, folks. And today's exciting announcement is that my 7-day forecast is brought to you by my friends at Eventide, senior living communities in our area. They offer independent living, and I can speak from personal experience that all of the people there, from the nursing staff to the people who greet you at the front door, care about you and your family. And I know this because I have family who resides at Eventide. So I'll just leave it at that. They're absolutely marvelous. So thank you so very, very much for all of my fine sponsors out there. And I look forward to serving you, going over your ideas we shared tonight. Would Fergus be considered an area kid? Kai, if you have a student who's interested in signing up, sign up and we will get a date set and you can help me do the weather. How does that sound? I would love that. Aaron, thank you for your contribution to Hutch's Weather. I see a beautiful noise there that says that somebody has contributed to Hutch's Weather. I've had a lot of you through stars on Facebook and contributions on YouTube help Hutch's Weather grow. And indeed, it does help me grow. Did this for a lot of months without any income, but I loved what I did, and now it's growing. So you've helped me do that, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for watching. Your forecast updates coming up here in a few minutes, so that you can watch for. We do have the radar out here. I'll give you a little radar update live right now as I close out so you can see what's going on. This system doesn't have a lot more lightning with it. There's that one strike that you reported here in the area. Now that's on its way out. We do have some heavy showers there from Foston straight down towards Monoman County. So whether you're in Nadawash or Monoman or the Borup area, we got a shower moving its way through there. North Fargo has heavier rain right now than South Fargo, but how much rain is falling from this, you might ask? Well, this is one of the tools Hutch has in his toolbox, and I can take time to tell you. How much rain is this making for us right now? Radar estimates are pretty cool because they tell us how hard it's raining and how fast. So here we go. I'm in my toolbox again. Just give it a second. It'll load up at 8:53 p.m. We've got rain showers right here. How heavy is the rain? If it was going to stay over your area, how fast is it accumulating? Near Twin Valley, it's raining at a rate of 0.2 inches per hour. Will these showers be there for an hour? That's a pretty narrow band of showers. Probably not. So maybe 1/10 of an inch from that. But there's more downwind from you near Felton, and it's going to be blowing up in your general direction. So those showers are moving northeasterly, but the whole line is moving east. So Fargo, we've got more rain coming through, and in West Fargo right now and in North Fargo, Riley's Acres here, we've got 0.4 of an inch per hour. That's a sidewalk soaker right there. So that heavy shower we saw on the camera, that's making its way down to the ground. Parents are stuck in Dallas. Flight to New Orleans got canceled. Dang weather is all over, and you wouldn't doubt that. Hutch can show you a little more about that too. But these showers moving through South Dakota heading towards, Milner heading towards Wyndmere, also more spotty in nature here, right? It's not widespread. This little puppy, though, if it stayed parked for an hour, would deliver you about 0.4 of an inch of rain. The real heavy stuff, though, is down near Groton, south of Britain. It's moving in this generally east-northeasterly direction. So there's some sidewalk soakers here that really are dumping upwards of an inch per hour on a couple of these heavier cells here. There we go, down in the pink colors that you see down here, 1 to 2 inches per hour, not out of the question from those cells. These will all be dashing their way through our neck of the woods. With your forecast coming up here in a bit, we'll cover that. Now, you also said, yo, Hutch, look at what's going on down in the deep south. They got some sidewalk soakers there, frog stranglers, flood warnings, severe weather continues down in the deep south as we are looking. I do have tornado watches. I have thunderstorm watches down in the, well, parts of southern Illinois, southern Indiana, and down here, moving into parts of Mississippi, all the way down to Shreveport here, and Louisiana, we've got severe weather. On your website, show everyone, please. Show everyone on the website? Let's do it. If you go to hutchesweather.com, I'll go there right now because I can, and you ask, and I'll do my best to deliver. We can move the radar by just clicking on it with our mouse and moving it down to the deep south. And here you go. Look at what's going on in the deep south. Use your right mouse button if you have a right mouse button. If you're using your phone, I think it's 2 or 3 fingers. If you use 2 or 3 fingers on this radar window here, you can tilt. Woo-wee! Look at that 3D view, just like we would use in broadcasting from time to time. And you can go right into Greenville down here, and they're getting some heavy storms. Those little individual cells that are out ahead of the main line, those can be the ones that really have some spin to them and really can be severe. But this is a linear system now producing some very heavy winds. Straight line winds are likely the main cause there, Aaron, for your parents in the deep south. And again, if flights are getting canceled down there, maybe connecting flights are getting hit if they were flying through places like St. Louis or likewise up towards areas north of Austin. Look at them heaters. The pink would indicate some pretty sizable hail. Hutchesweather.com. Hey, do you live in Alaska? Are you going to Alaska? If there's radar data, you can go out there and see that Anchorage got the dark blue here. That's rain, but there's some snow out there to the north and west in the elevated terrain, just west of Anchorage out there. And in the Aleutian Island chain, if you happen to be doing some fishing out there, well, things look a little quieter out there, but they don't have a lot of radars to go off of out in that neck of the woods. So that's Hutch's Weather. The interactive radar is here for you. There is something broken on the website that Joe and I are working on fixing, and that's the email thing. Signing up for the email is not working right now, but keep trying. Put your email address and click sign up. And I hope for that list to grow. Then if there's a tornado warning, I can send you a tap on the shoulder saying, hey, yo, we got some severe weather going on right now. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Hutch, I posted a photo of our weather on the sky. All right, let's see. I'm going to go ahead, Ethan, and see what I got here. Boom. And here we go. Ethan has uploaded a photo of the sky out there in Dilworth. And you were saying too that the sirens were going off there a little bit. I don't know anything about what was causing that because I didn't see anything. But Ethan, I'm going to say a fine thanks to you for watching, for being a part of Hutch's Weather, for trusting me with your weather information. And I thank you, my friend, for uploading your photo to hutchesweather.com. Again, thanks so very much. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson, your 7-day forecast brought to you by my friends at Eventide Senior Living. It's a community. Check out eventide.org for more information. And check me out, once again, anytime, anywhere at hutchesweather.com. If you'd take the time to hit the follow button on Facebook if you have not yet done so, it does help Hutch a great deal. So please do so. And my subscriptions on YouTube are important as well. Growing from 7,000 today, on our way to 10,000 here, hopefully before the end of summer. Thanks so much for helping me grow. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your trust in my weather. And for now, have a wonderful evening.